And we are live inside Lincoln Financial Field. We are inside the locker room of the Bowl 52 champion Philadelphia Eagles. We're going to crown a champ of our own. It is time for the Philadelphia Eagles Club Championship. So happy to have you along with us. I'm Nick Mazesco. Hanging out with me, the familiar voice of Rico Williams. And Rico, the Philadelphia Eagles have always been big supporters of the game of Madden. Always been one of those pinnacle franchises that we look to as the supporter, the team that wants to crown a Madden champion. We got four phenomenal players here today.
Oh, yes. And this field has actually crowned a Madden champion. We have the old and the new squad here. Big Gene represented Philadelphia, was a former actual Madden Challenge winner. Then you have young Henry. A lot of people think he is the number one player in the world, but you can't count out Bobby V, and you can't count out Anthony. These guys have all gone through a gauntlet of competition to get here. It's going to be some great games.
As a reminder, guys, we are down to our final four here in Philadelphia, and only one is going to get to head out to San Francisco for the club championships in December for a chance at $100,000. We're going to have 3 games for you tonight, 2 semifinals, and then the final where we will crown our champion. And our first semifinal, it's a pretty darn good one. We get to see Bobby V take on the young phenom Henry.
Now, a lot of people might not know who Bobby V is, but he's been a solid player, and we had Veterans Day yesterday. He is an Air Force veteran, so we definitely thanked him for his service. But with that Air Force background, we're wondering, is he going to take it to the air, leave it in the air, or is he going to go ground and pound like a lot of people are? But in his first game, he drew young Henry. A lot of people think this is going to be a cakewalk for him, but in this year's game, you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, how about Henry, 16 years old, coming off of the Madden Classic where it was his first major. All he did was take a top 2.
And that's a lot to say. He lost to a great competitor in Serious Mo who was just in the zone then. But Henry let it be known it doesn't matter the mode of Madden. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with for quite some time.
Yes, and this is our first semifinals. These guys are about ready to go and get this game underway. Rico, any predictions how you think this one's going to go?
I'm going to go with my rock-solid prediction of young Henry getting it done. But you never know. We can't count out Bobby V.
As the players get set, get ready to play. This, by the way, it's about a $1,200 game of Madden versus finishing top 4 versus finishing top 2. So this is not for some small pennies. This is a big deal, and they're all thinking about that $100,000 prize at the end.
Yeah, they are trying to get to San Francisco. Everybody's trying to get to San Francisco. I'm trying to get to San Francisco. It's going to be a good time here. And as long as he needs to know you're in the game. You're playing the game, not the name. That's really cliche, but in this, you cannot be psyched out before the game even starts.
Appreciate everybody out there hanging out with us in the Twitch chat. It is another phenomenal day of Madden action as the field of 32 continuing to fill up as we work our way through all the teams. And that's the great part about the club championship is even if you don't know the players, everybody's got an NFL team, and you can always root for that person who's representing your NFL team. We got a lot of Eagles fans here in the locker room looking to see who they're going to be rooting for in December.
Yeah, the Eagles have definitely done a first-class job here. Avonte Maddox is here signing autographs, meet and greet them with the cheerleaders out, the trophies out. They have really pulled out all the stops here to make sure that it's going to be absolutely amazing. Now, I see we're having a little bit of audio problems, but we're going to be right on that. We're going to get that taken care of so we can bring you guys a crisp, great Philadelphia Club Championship.
These guys getting set up. By the way, it's still kind of crazy to be sitting here calling some Madden action, and I've got Zach Ertz's locker right behind me. Like, Zach Ertz stands here and gets ready for all those phenomenal games that he puts on for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, there are definitely some great times that are had here. Everybody was leaving thank you notes for their favorite fantasy players, letting them know, like, hey, you really came through for me here. Now, both of these guys are locked in. They're trying to make their last-second adjustments and making sure everything's done. Now, Bobby V, do you try to slow it down, or do you come in here and play your game like normal?
Well, let's remember, Bobby V, in his journey to get here to the Final Four, he lost his first game, went straight to the loser's bracket, and won 4 straight, and that shows you a lot of resiliency. He's going to be taking on Henry. Henry, we know how talented he is, but what we've already seen from Bobby V in the journey to this final 128 is that he knows how to fight back from a deficit. He didn't give up when he got into the loser's bracket, and now he's sitting here and he's got a chance to pull off a major upset.
Yeah, that loser bracket finally took on one of the Madden community's favorites in Dubby and was able to pull that one out and get here. He's faced adversity before. This is not going to be his only time. Hopefully he'll be able to put it all together, and we're going to have a great game here. Now, if you're Henry sitting there waiting, wanting, needing to play, is there any pressure on him extra?
I mean, I think you are currently people are calling you the phenom of Madden. You've had one major experience, and guess what? You played second in that one. So there's a lot of pressure on Henry to not fold here, especially in a tournament that it has the biggest prize pool, $100,000 on the line. You want to take home that $100,000 check, and listen, if the Classic wasn't enough of proof that playing Madden was worth it, you come home with $100K in your pocket. Your parents go, listen, you stay up as late as you want to play that game.
Oh yeah, Mom definitely lets him slide on the homeschooling a little bit with that if he brings that big check home. But the thing is, the Classic was on regs. So now some people are wondering, well, is he just great at that mode? Can he play all the different modes that Madden has to offer? So I think him making it this far and dominating as the way he has is really showing people that all across the board, he might be the #1 player in America.
As these guys are loading into the game, warm up the hands. It's about time to kick off semifinal #1 here from Lincoln Financial Field. So happy to have you all along with us, as this is going to be a battle between the Phenom and, well, this is a little David and Goliath, the Phenom and the man looking to knock off the Phenom. Bobby V and Henry, semifinal #1. As we are ready for game action. We are now underway. Semifinal #1 from Lincoln Financial Field is, looks like it's going to be Bobby V starting out with the ball first.
When you have this opening drive against a player of Henry's caliber, you want to make sure you get something on the board here. We definitely want 7, but you'll settle for 3. You can't afford to go 3 and out real quick.
As these guys set up their audibles, get their lineups all good to go. It'll be interesting to see what Bobby V brings to the table as he tries to pull off the upset. As he's got that Gale Sayers with Jukebox in the backfield. Joe Thomas with nasty streak. Handoff Sayers, right side with room. 45, past midfield, and still going. There's the Jukebox. First play, he's got room. 10-5, touchdown. Bobby V, what a way to kick off semifinal #1.
Air Force, he definitely was on his great. He had the ground troops out there. What a way to open out your first game on this big stage. That definitely allows him to breathe, relax, and now he can play with house money right now. Up 7-0 on Henry. It's all his.
It looks like these guys fixing some of their settings. And it looks like they're good to go. How about a way to start off? You're looking to pull off the upset. How about taking the first carry, 75 yards to the house with the legend, Gale Sayers?
There's no better way you could draw it up if you're Bobby V. I know he was probably dreaming of this day for quite some time before it got here, and now he's able to execute like that. Little shocking that Henry gave that big of a play up. Everybody has trouble stopping the run this year, but to give up that huge play, it's behind you now. You got to tuck that away and focus.
I think we're going to get the admin team out here. Some sort of issue to begin the game, but
Yet I know they're trying to work on the audio too. Everybody out there in the chat and everybody who's tuning in watching us, please just bear with us. We're trying to get this all together. We're going to bring you guys a great day of Madden. We've got a lot of great games. We want to make sure you guys can see and hear as great as possible. We're working on it.
As Bobby V starting out with a 75-yard touchdown run with that Gale Sayers with Jukebox, and so we're getting word that Henry had some settings that were incorrect on his game. So they are going to restart it. The touchdown, though, will count for Bobby V. So he's still going to get the 6 points on the board, and That's about all that Bobby V cares about right now.
he's just happy that he's locked in. As you can see, he has his headset off, so he's able to hear us. So he's appreciating the fact that he's going to get that touchdown and be able to bring that. Now, is he going to lose a little bit of momentum with this game restart? Or is he so amped and excited that he was able to get that score that he's going to be able to carry it on with him?
I actually think this might help him a little bit because we've seen so many times players, especially in that underdog role, big touchdown, the adrenaline gets flowing, you start making some mistakes on defense. Bobby's going to get a second to take a deep breath, realize where he is, let that adrenaline cool down, and then really formulate a defensive plan to take on Henry, who, looking at the stats, Henry is a very balanced player, up over 50% passing the ball.
Yeah, and people always talk about the meta in this year's game is running and establishing whether it's the dive, the stretch. Henry's showing you that you can be versatile in your playbook, and the game is really what you make of it and what you want to do. If you feel that you can play against the best players in the world and throw balls all over the field, then you can do it. Just got to be great at it. If you decided you want to run every down and not have a quarterback, you can do it. You just got to be great at it.
Looking at the run-pass ratios from their ladders, Henry was about 54% passing. On the flip side, Bobby V, a 63% runner. And so far in this game, he's one run for one touchdown.
Yeah, those are some great stats. I would have loved to have averaged those back in the day.
Another thing we should note, Rico, is we're crowning a brand new Philadelphia club champion. Figgy, of course, the club champion for the first 2 seasons, but got knocked out in the round of 16. So one of these 4 is going to be the first time they've had a new club champion.
Yeah, I know that. Shout out to Figgy. He's been a great competitor, great representative of the Eagles. He's made some great runs. But it's a new year, new game, and these guys are playing some great Madden right now. So Figgy, when he actually matched up with Bobby V, Figgy laid hands on him. 35-17. Styles make fights, and it's all about matchups. Well, we got a great one here.
So these guys are going to get the game state back to where it needs to be. 6-0, Bobby on top. One play into the game, and Gale Sayers said, that's all I need. I only need 1 carry. As I look over to my left, and I see that Super Bowl 52 Lombardi trophy. These guys fighting for the Eagles club championship, but I think they'd be okay taking that Lombardi trophy home.
Oh, yes, wouldn't we all? That is a nice conversation starter. Let's just say that goes great on the coffee table.
Hey, what are you resting your hat on there? Oh, that's just the Lombardi trophy. It's no big deal. As these guys just getting the game state set back. This is the other part about Madden this is the part that nobody talks about, and it's something I think if you play in leagues or you've played in live events, things like this happen, settings don't get right, and the most frustrating part is having to get the game state back because there's just no good way to do it other than punt the ball and call a field goal block and give them a touchdown.
We've all done this forever. EA Sports. It's in the game. And look, he breaks another one.
In a shocking turn of events, Gale Sayers is in open space.
How
could this happen twice? Bobby V's a master. And we're back.
The thing you have to love about Henry is even as he gives up that touchdown run, once again, there's no change in his demeanor. He's stoic. He's locked in. He's not even phased, it seems like that. He's just waiting for his turn on offense so he can show you what he can do.
And now we get to the fun part where we get to see the phenom Henry at work as he will get his first offensive drive of the game. This the short pooch kick to Pruitt. We'll take it all the way up to the 27-yard line. Now we get to see what Henry has offensively, led by the former Civil War captain, Andrew Luck.
And again, please, everybody out there, we are addressing our audio and visual technology issues. Just bear with us. We're going to have a great flawless stream up for you in a second.
As our man Trav in there. Getting these guys set up. Semifinal number 1 coming up next. We got our second semifinal. And I know this is one that Rico's been real excited with.
Yeah, I've known Gene for quite some time. I remember when he made his break-in into the competitive Madden scene, and it's really interesting. You have Henry, who's 16 years old. That brings you back to Madden '04. And that happened to be one of the great Maddens that Gene was good at when he was just being born. So it could be a great story.
He'll be taking on Tony in the second semifinal. As good Lord, I think we're actually back to game action.
All right, Henry's going to have to get locked back in and get focused. And now he gets the ball back in the second half, but I don't think he wants to have this drive on the heels of giving up that big play without getting some points of his own.
Henry 3-0 in his journey here to the Final Four. And, of course, only one major appearance for the 16-year-old. He plays second at the Madden Classic here in Madden 20. Took him a cool $25,000 on 1st and 10. Luck underneath finds the halfback, T.J. Logan, picking up 7.
That was a lot of time for Henry to make all those reads. He was able to let everything develop. He took that check down, but Bobby's going to have to send some pressure or do something. Henry's too good of a player to let him go through all those progressions.
Henry, of course, the 16-year-old from the Chicago area, representing the Philadelphia Eagles here in the club championship. Second down and 3. He's got Luck in the shotgun. A little gun bunch action. Throwback to Madden 19. T.J. Logan on the left hip of Luck. The Colts legend Marvin Harrison in motion. Luck steps up, used that escape artist, takes off and picks up a first down.
Marvin Harrison, a Philly native as well from the area.
All right, if it's your first time tuning into the club championship, first of all, thank you so much for hanging out with us. This is played on the salary cap mode. So team building is at a premium as these players have an $825 cap to build their team around. Each of these players they have on their team all throughout Madden and NFL history cost a certain amount of cap, just like your favorite team at home. And the ability to put some of these abilities on as well. You see those players with stars underneath them have some abilities. Andrew Luck with that escape artist. The main one for Henry on offense. 1st and 10, rolls out left side. He's going to find the fastest man alive, Dante Hall, underneath, picking up a first down.
And once again, he was able to pick you apart. Now I see why Henry likes to pass the ball so well, so often. He has a great core of receivers out there. With Andrew Luck and the escape artist, he's able to buy himself in extra time, roll out, change those angles, and find wide open receivers.
And 1st and 10, Luck right up the seam. Marvin Harrison. Nice throw between the linebacker and the safety, and Andrew Luck showing he's still got it.
Ooh, that was a lack of respect for Bobby V's stick from Henry. He just threw at him with no problem. He saw him there and said, you know what, I'm still throwing this.
Now on 1st and 10, Hall split out now wide left. Luck dropping back. Looked like a two-man rush. He's looking for Hall over there. Bobby V, he makes the defensive play. Prime time. Deion Sanders with the interception. And how about the start for the Air Force veteran?
Wow. Everybody here is shocked. And when I say everybody, I mean me, you, the crowd, Henry. Bobby himself is shocked right now. If I told you he'd be up 7-0, got to stop with the ball back, he would be in disbelief.
As Bobby V scores on the first play of the game, and now he has the ball back after the click-on interception with Deion Sanders. Handoff, Sayers trying to find some room. That run went a little better for Henry as he only gave up 4 yards.
That he did. And actually now that helps Bobby V. At least he has some room to breathe. He was right there on the goal line. He was probably a little nervous, if Henry would have shot that gap, that could have cost him 2 points in the safety. Now, on the 6, can open up the playbook a little bit more.
Give himself a little breathing room. As if you're wondering who Bobby V has as a quarterback, that is, of course, Ryan Griffin from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers practice squad. 10-cap QB. Sorry, 11-cap QB. Spend a little more on him. 2nd and 6, Sayers outside, nowhere to go.
That was a great block shot. That saved him, because if he could have got to that outside, it looked like there was a lot of daylight, and he could have still been running.
So we appreciate you guys hanging out with us in the chat, spending your Tuesday night here.
The chat's blaming my rock-solid pick for Jinx and Henry.
Wow, nice job, Rico.
No, they can't bring back the mush. Don't bring back the mush.
As the crowd locked in here inside the Eagles locker room at Lincoln Financial Field, 3rd and 7. The 10-cap throw it. It's a screen pass. Sayers gets out of the end zone. No safety on the play. It might have been the ugliest play I have ever seen in my career of calling Madden, and it still picked up a yard.
Wow. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. And right now, we saw Bobby V at his luckiest. He was able to get that pick and slow down Henry, but he wasn't able to capitalize on it and put new points. When you're playing against somebody as good as Henry, you have to make sure you take advantage of these opportunities. Now he has the ball back, short field, bad punt. The winds of change are blowing.
Doesn't matter how you end, it matters. It doesn't matter how you begin, it matters how you finish. And right now, Bobby V, a great start, but only a 7-0 lead, and Henry in great field position. A one-man rush from Henry's defense. Look at everybody back in coverage, and he's still gonna find Torrey Holt on the right side. Give him a big chunk, 27 on the play, and just outside of 1st and goal.
It was all good just a drive ago. Now Henry's locking back in. He's in the red zone already. He's gonna need to see if he can put 7 up here. You don't want to take 3.
And now 1st and 10 for Henry, just outside the 10-yard line. Luck dropping back against that 10-man defense, and Dante Hall says, I don't care how many are back here, put 15 on defense, I'm still gonna put 6 on the board for the phenom, Henry.
He had people running open everywhere. He had that table route open. He had him coming across. Henry is showing that you can pass the ball. So everybody out there, yes, running is incredibly effective. A lot of people can do it, but you can still pass the ball in Madden.
Now we'll see what Bobby V can do after getting that interception with primetime, but Rico wasn't able to cash in. Almost a disastrous drive. Could have easily been safety on that screenplay. Was able to punt it away, but now pressure back on Bobby V with a tie ball game.
Yeah, Henry is definitely taking back the momentum on here, and Bobby V needs to get some points here. That drive couldn't have looked a little bit more unorganized if he tried. So now, get back, get focused, lock in, and see if Gale Sayers can get you in the promised land.
It's on 1st and 10. How about a little counter play for Gale Sayers? Runs into his own blocker. Oh, he had a lot of green space on the left side, and we will reach the end of the 1st quarter. Didn't think we'd be saying this. It's a 7-7 ball game.
Yeah, we are tied up going in. And if you ask Bobby going into it, he'll take tie game with a stop. He's getting better. He's getting a little bit more comfortable.
Joe Thomas in motion from right to left. Handoff Sayers, left side, shakes off one tackle, and he's in open space. Past the 45, Palomalu, you saw that star light up. He's got secure tackler. Not quite as effective against Jukebox, but incredibly effective right there as he's able to save a touchdown.
I don't know that he so much saved that touchdown or Bobby V's lack of stick work saved that touchdown. All he had to do was hit him with the But no, got to bring that wing out, got to have that stick work. That's what separates the good from the great players.
Henry has one of the most prolific scoring offenses in this entire tournament, averaging almost a little over 33 points per game. But Sayers over the left side in open room. Wave goodbye. Sayers my name. Gale Sayers into the end zone.
You don't need stick work when there's nobody within 30 yards of you. He got to that outside. He ran and ran and ran.
Enough room over there that I could have found the end zone as Bobby V with that ground and pound attack. The kick is up. It is good. Bobby V on the upset trail with a 7-point lead.
Everybody out there in chat land and who's watching us, we are waiting. We're trying to get that audio fixed. We want to give you guys the best show that we can. Please trust and believe we're trying to get this audio fixed. Just hang in there with us.
Well, Henry's had 2 drives offensively here in this semifinal, number 1. One of those drives ended in a touchdown on a short field. The other one, though, ended in an interception. So something's got to give here on his 3rd drive, Andrew Luck. Rolling right, waiting, looking, has a man. That's T.J. Logan. Nice playmaker to bring Logan across the field, pick up a first down.
Again, he's using that escape artist to get to all the angles he wants and is buying his receivers time to run all their routes. And then with a little bit of playmaker, that's going to be a tough offense to stop.
First and 10 for Henry. Out of that gun bunch. Luck steps up, looking corner out. It's got a man. That's Torrey Holt, and he's in open space. Wave goodbye to Torrey Holt into the end zone. He was a legend for the Rams. He's a legend here in the Eagles Club Championship. Is an extra point away for Henry. Ball is down. He's got the animation, and it is blocked. Scooped up by Washington. Will anyone catch him for 2 points on the board? Andrew Luck, look at the hustle, but he ain't going to get there. Give him 2. As how about Bobby V with a clutch extra point block to stay ahead in this game, 16-13. We thought it might have been a tie ball game. Instead, it ends up still being a field goal lead for Bobby V. The blocked extra point puts 2 on the board. Now Bobby V's rush attack has been absolutely phenomenal with the legend Gale Sayers. Joe Thomas in motion from right to left. It's going to be Sayers, cuts up field, nowhere to go. Good defense by Henry.
(16-13) with 3 minutes to go in the second quarter. Would you have thought this would have been such a high-scoring game?
Well, we knew Henry put a lot of points on the board. I don't think we saw 16-13 Bobby V on top, but the Air Force veteran putting on a show so far with his ground and pound attack. Maybe Henry settling in a little bit, though. That's 2 straight stops on running plays. And 3rd and 11, that's a tough place to be if you're a rushing attack.
Yeah, he's definitely going to need to open the playbook up a little bit, but when you don't have those options, when you don't come in here prepared to throw the ball, it makes your offense a tad predictable. Now you just have to hope that you can break something.
Timeout taken by Bobby V. Looked like he was going to try to run that stretch play. It's frustrating to take that timeout right before the 2-minute warning. But Bobby V starting to use that clock. On 3rd and 11, how about Griffin? How about a screen pass to Sayers? Trying to find some room on the left side. But Henry not fooled by that 3rd down call.
Yeah, he needed to make that one guy miss again, and that's what's really been able to keep him in this game. Henry was Bobby's lack of stick work. We really need him to make somebody miss and show that, hey, I can beat the computer too.
Well, very similar situation we saw on Henry's first scoring drive. He's going to get great field position at the 38-yard line. As on 1st and 10, it's Luck finding Harrison on the right side. He'll pick up 8 yards on the play. Set him up for a 2nd and 2. Big drive for Henry here just to get the ship righted.
Yeah, now, if you're Henry, you know things haven't gone your way, but you have a chance to get points, take the lead before the half, and get the ball back. Changes the entire complexion of the game.
He's looking over the top, looking for Marvin Harrison. Drop it in the bucket. Henry with a dime in the end zone, putting 6 on the board.
Don't call it a comeback. He's been good for years.
As that kick up and good block on that play. How about a 20-16 lead for Henry? Minute 23 on the clock for Bobby V. He's got 2 timeouts, and Rico, they call me a young Nostradamus. I feel like we're going to see Gale Sayers in this drive.
I feel like you're right, but he needs to be careful. You're only down 4 right now going into this half. If he doesn't at least take the end of this second quarter, he could give Henry and his explosive offense another chance to put even more points on the board, and you don't want to do that.
Semifinal number 2 coming up next. It's going to be Big Gene taking on Tony. Because the winner of this game is Gale Sayers, nowhere to go up the middle.
And he went nowhere in a hurry. If he's smart, he's going to let that clock tick down. If you're Henry, when do you decide about maybe taking a timeout and saving yourself a little bit of time and see if you can make a run before this half ends?
Sayers right side, juke back inside, but still not a whole lot of room.
And there's that first timeout from Henry. You can tell he smells blood. 3rd and 10. He knows if he can get off this field right now on defense, there's some more points to be had in this first half.
Just big shout out to all those Eagles fans out there, all the Eagles fans here inside Lincoln Financial Field. The Eagles locker room, the Lombardi Trophy from Super Bowl 52 hanging out. We got a great crowd on hand for this semifinal number 1. Nick Mazesco, Rico Williams with you all night as we crown the Eagles Club champion. Prime time, trying to find some room. Eagles fans see Sanders, they go, Miles? That's Dion.
No, the GOAT. 41 seconds. That is more than enough time, along with 1 timeout, to put points on the board. You don't need to get it all in one play. If you're Henry, just take your time. Your offense has been clicking on all cylinders. And just work your way down the field.
Here's Luck looking for Marvin Harrison over the middle. Pick up 9, timeout taken. .36 seconds to go in the first half. Here goes Henry out of that gun punch. Luck, right side. He's got a lot of room if he wants to take off, and he will indeed. He'll step out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Picks up a first down and stops the clock.
I was wondering if he was going to try him and throw that bomb. Henry decided, you know what? I'll go ahead and just take it out of bounds. I still have 29 seconds left. No need to force it.
As TJ Logan will be split wide right. Luck dropping back on first down. Looks on the middle, challenges the user. It's picked off by White. And Bobby V's defense coming up with another clutch play. As how about Devin White, the Tampa Bay Buccaneer, with the 2nd interception of the game. Wow,
And that was a huge play for Bobby V. That keeps him from going down 2 scores possibly and having to play defense when that 3rd quarter starts.
And contrary to the opinion of many people at home, Henry is in fact human. It's been proven here today as the 2nd interception thrown by Henry. And how about a stretch run for Sayers? He's got some room. Shazier over there to make the tackle. And maybe a little bit of a rookie mistake from Bobby V. Should have gone out of bounds, instead has to use a timeout.
Yeah, he definitely should have got out of bounds, or he should have made somebody miss. We're going to need to see a little bit more out of Bobby when it comes to that stick work. You cannot give up these opportunities when you have that one-on-one. You got to win those battles.
2nd and short, more importantly, 18 seconds left on the clock. How about a counter play for Sayers? He keeps trying this counter run, cutting it back inside. It hasn't really worked. We've seen him only pick up about 5 yards total.
Yeah, he's going to have to chalk that one up. I know it sometimes might work against your buddy at home. It might work against the computer.
It definitely works against me.
Yeah, Henry has shown that he can consistently stop that, so you don't want to keep trying to pull that one out.
Sayers right side. No timeouts left as that play should take us to halftime, and it will indeed. Back and forth, a couple turnovers, but young Henry, 16-year-old from the Chicago area, has a 20-16 lead. So he looks to move on to the finals of the Eagles Club Championship.
Henry does not look phased at all. You notice his expression never changes. Whether he's up by 1 million or up by 999,999, his face still stays the same.
As they're going to punt this ball back. Remember, this game restarted, and so the coin flip was all sorts of messed up. So this ball is going to be punted back to Henry so that he gets the first possession of the second half. Started at the 26-yard line, and we're good to go. Another phenomenal day of Madden action. So happy to have everybody with us, both in the Twitch chat and here inside the locker room. Semi-final number 1 of the Eagles Club Championship. Henry and Bobby V. We got Big Gene and Tony coming up next, and then, of course, we will crown our Eagles Club champion. Nick Mazesco, Rico Williams with you. Big shout out to everybody with the Eagles organization for making this such a phenomenal event. How about Dante Hall getting a carry? The fastest man alive picks up 4. Rico, of course, placing a food order, I assume.
Yes, I ordered a cheesesteak.
Ooh. I mean, when in Philly, why not? Torrey Holt, a little hitch on the right side, picks up a first down.
If you're Bobby, you got to feel good coming out of that first half. You weren't expected to be in the game. People thought you were going to get blown out. It's less than a touchdown deficit. You can still win this game, but you cannot give up 7 here. To go down 2 scores, Henry's just too good of a player.
Handoff to Holt up the middle, finding 2 yards. And you will see, Rico, the joy of Ultimate Team is you can see some guys in interesting positions. Namely, you'll see Dante Hall and Torrey Holt at that fullback position, putting a little speed at a position that typically doesn't have a whole lot of it.
Yeah, and we've seen a lot of different interesting fullbacks through the years of Madden, everybody.
.328 to go in the third quarter. Henry here with the first possession of the second half with a 4-point lead. So big defensive drive for Bobby V. 3rd and 7 for Luck. 4-man rush, quick slant. Dante Hall. Rico way too easy for a first down.
He was wide open. You got to be able to play a little bit better defense than that. You had him on his heels for a little bit. You're trying to get off that field. You can't allow Henry that much time and throw that pass. If you're Bobby V, at some point, when do you start sending the heat?
Well, he's going to try to shoot the gap with Polamalu. It's going to be Torrey Holt, picks up a first down over the left side. So we got such a great crowd here from the Philly area enjoying this Madden NFL 20 Club Championship. I've been introducing myself as Carson Wentz, and nobody has believed me yet.
You guys look remarkably similar, so I'm shocked. And it's funny, you see a lot of the old heads have come on out to support Philly. Multiple-time Madden Challenge winner Antoine Boogeyman is out here. Steve-O, another multiple challenge winner. Jet's out here. You got to love that Madden in Philly. When Philly is one of the best cities for Madden, they've had Gene, they had 40, they had Dynasty, another Madden Challenge winner. It's a rich history here.
I formation for Henry. Why not run a little stretch run with Torrey Holt over the left side? And this is the other thing that Henry does. We saw this at the Classic. He can lull you into a false sense of security, hit you for 4 yards, hit you for 5 yards. Then all of a sudden you look at the scoreboard, you're down by 10 because he's been able to crack a few big runs.
Yep, he's showing you that he can do it all. It's just which tool does he want to pull out of his bag now? Do I want to throw the ball? Do I want to run the ball? Do I want to show you that I can do it all?
Luck out of the pocket. Dumps it off to Pruitt underneath. The Ultimate Team legend, Michael Pruitt with the catch. Bobby V, another opportunity to get a stop on a 3rd down. Bunch to the left side, 1 wide receiver, split wide right. Luck driving back on 3rd and 3, trying to get outside the pocket. Nowhere to go, and Bobby V is going to force a 4th down, and we say it's a 4th down decision, but Henry, he plays very traditional. He'll take his points because he trusts his defense.
As you should. He's had him in a box since that first big run. Think about it, we had the first big run, and then he's been going back and forth. If you're Henry, you got to feel good about this game right now and think you're going to get the ball back.
So we're getting down near crunch time. Bobby V started out so strong. Great first half. Defensively, 2 interceptions, able to find some room with Gale Sayers, but it seems like every time he's gone away from that stretch run, he's sort of gotten locked down into these 3rd and longs. Let's see what he does on 1st and 10. How about a toss play to Gale Sayers? And he's got some room outside. Past midfield. Troy Apke, the only one back. He makes a juke move inside. 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Bobby V. An extra point away from tying up Henry as the Gale Force wind blows once
Not only did we just get the stream and the audio fixed, Bobby V got his offense fixed at the same time. You see, he finally won that one-on-one battle, was able to show that he has some stick work, and voila. We are back in a tie ball game. Bobby V has some momentum now. It's all on Henry.
Big shout out to everybody hanging out in the chat with us, fighting through all the issues. It looks like we have gotten some of it fixed. See our man Scott Cole in the chat. M-Dub in the chat. Saw Big Kep in the chat. Lights Out in the chat. You guys are awesome. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. Nick Mazesco, Rico Williams with you, and we are 42 seconds away from the fourth quarter. It's a 23-all ball game here in semifinal number 1. Luck on 1st and 10. Nowhere to go. Bobby V's defense with another big play as that's a big snack in the middle.
And that's what we said. He was giving Henry way too much time to go through his progressions. He was letting him get comfortable in that pocket. Now, he sent that pressure, was lurking with Sanders. Bobby V, it's a whole new man.
Second and long for Henry on what may be the last play of the half. Finds Michael Pruitt left side. He'll step out of bounds. Big third down upcoming for Henry.
We know you say Henry likes to play a little closer to the vest, conservative style. Do you think this is 4-down territory if he doesn't get this here?
I don't know if it's 4-down territory, but I do know 4's up in the chat, 4's up in the building. We're 5 minutes away from filling one half of the Eagles Club Championship, and it is 23-all. 3rd and 11 for Henry. Luck dropping back on 3rd down. Rolling outside. He's going to take a shot over the top. He's got Torrey Holt. Drop it in the bucket. Dots for Henry inside the 10-yard line. The legend, Torrey Holt, getting behind the defense.
Wow. And Andrew Luck shows you just how great he is. Henry got what he wanted, was able to buy that time, got to the outside, and the rest, it's red zone history.
Henry's in business as we're under 4:30 to go in this first semifinal. Big Gene and Tony coming up next. But a game which many saw going much differently. It's been a dogfight back in the end zone. How about Torrey Holt one more time for Henry? And look how ecstatic he is as he knows he's up by 6.
I told you, you'll never know what's going on with Henry. He is just locked in. He is a Madden machine. But you got to love the adjustments he made. He made them on the fly. Bobby was starting to take away what he wanted to do. He went to that bag, had a couple more tricks, got it done.
Well, for all the people, this has been a phenomenal mix of offense. We've seen passing, we've seen running, we've seen some defense, and we got 53 points on the board. I know Big Gene and Tony in the back are thinking, how are we going to follow up that show? This has been a absolutely spectacular game number 1 here from Lincoln Financial Field. 1st and 10 for Bobby V. Can he get Gale Sayers rolling once again? Stretch run right side, good blocking, cuts it up inside, but a great close down. That was Denzel Ward, the former Buckeye, with a tackle. 5-yard gain.
That 5-yard gain could have possibly been 50 if he got outside a little bit more. I think he cut that one up a little too soon, but who am I to judge? I'm here, and he's on that big stage.
2nd and 5. How about a stretch run the other way? Makes Apke miss, and he's going to pick up a 1st down. All right, Bobby V showing off the run stick.
Now, depending on how you play this could be the last drive of this game. Now, we say this is an old school Madden. Does Bobby V go for 2 if he scores late?
Yes, I hope so.
I feel like you have to. It's not like he's anywhere near what Henry's running on offense right now, and you don't want to take that chance of that coin toss.
1st down and 10 for Bobby V. Here he goes back to that counter play right up the middle. And he's got some room. Give him a 1st down and more. 35-30, 25-20. Can anybody catch Gale Sayers? No, he cannot. Bobby V looking to pull off the biggest upset of the club so far.
But did you see the look on his face? It wasn't excitement. It was relief. It was like, whew, okay, I got this. Now he's hoping for that one stop. Can he get that one stop? Is this the guap drive for Henry, or is he just going to go ahead and march down like he normally does?
3:12 to go, and we have ourselves a heck of a ball game. 60 points on the board, 30 apiece. And now Henry trying to stave off the upset. What a performance by the Air Force veteran Bobby V.
Yes. I thought it was yesterday, but today might be Veterans Day. This is a game that he is in and has every chance to win. He just needs to finish.
Luck outside of the pocket. Finds Pruitt underneath. Only going to pick up 2 as we go under 3 minutes to play.
That might have been the best defensive play that Bobby has had all game. He took away everything that Henry wanted to do, was spying him over there. He had nothing, made him take that check down for 2. That's a tough way to make a living.
See Henry with that shoe clock on. Wants to use as much clock as he can. Luck on 2nd and 8. Steps up in the pocket. Hit as he throws, but he finds T.J. Logan for a first down, 13 yards. And that should take us to the 2-minute warning.
That it does. Now, Bobby has to know that he's almost in field goal range. You don't want to fight this hard to come up that short. You got to lock in right here. This is where you need to make your stand and plant your flag.
Dante Hall, too easy up the middle. Crosses midfield. Henry looking to get into field goal range. He's got a 10-cap kicker. Sam Ficken. Dante Hall, another first down. How confident do you think Henry is right now?
Incredibly, because you can tell he just wanted that first down. Now he's taking that clock down, and he's going to take his 3 and be happy.
Hand off to Hall. Give him 5.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5 at the 41-yard line.
Luck under center, 35 seconds to go. Gives it to Hall again. Fights through some tackles at the 37-yard line. Timeout taken by Bobby V. From here, it'd be a 54-yard field goal attempt.
Do you think his kicker has it in him?
Brings up 3rd and 1.
Sam Ficken, can he be a hero for Henry? As Bobby V at this point looking to ice the kicker and force overtime. Hall making it a lot easier. The wheels on the bus go ground and pound.
He's tackled at the 29-yard line. A 6-yard pickup.
There's a timeout taken by Bobby. He's got 1 remaining, 8 seconds left on the clock. We have seen 1 extra point already blocked in this game. Does Bobby V have a little more magic left? Sanders makes the tackle. And here we go, a kick for a spot in the finals. It's been a lot tougher for Henry than he thought it'd be.
Yes. Henry has to tip his hat to Bobby V. This one's not over yet, but
no ice on the play. Ball is down, kick is up, and Henry is on to the finals, but what a dogfight. Bobby V putting up as tough of a fight as we have seen. Henry will represent 1/2 of the Eagles finals, but Rico, how about Bobby V making it a fight to the end?
yes, his name is definitely going to ring out for a while. He has played Henry tougher than almost anybody else in America did besides Bo. And it showed that, hey, in this year's game, anything can happen. Bobby, first time on the big stage, can't hang his head. He played what's arguably the #1 player in the world right now, and he played him to almost a draw. A couple of different plays go the other way. Bobby's standing there, but Henry got it done. And now he gets a chance to sit back and watch that next semifinal and wait.
Yeah, and that's maybe the part that we don't talk about is Henry now gets to sit back, scout a little bit, and also think about, all right, what did I do in that first game that didn't work? What can I do in this next game? How do I match up against the winner of Big Gene and Tony?
And when you have as many tools as Henry has in his toolbox, whether it's the run, the pass, the playmakers, the escape artists, he just needs to figure out what he wants to do. And he's great at taking what the defense also gives him. He didn't impose his will. He said, okay, this is how Bobby wants to play me. He's going to take away this. Well, don't worry. I can go to this over here. So I can't wait to see how this one unfolds. And we got Tony and Big Gene coming up.
Oh, we've set the bar pretty high. What a phenomenal first semifinal. We got plenty of Madden action to come. We appreciate you guys in the chat hanging out with us. Don't go anywhere. We're just going to take a quick break. But when we come back, it's semifinal number 2, Big Gene and Tony, who will take on Henry for the right to be crowned the Eagles club champion. We'll be right back. And we are back here inside Lincoln Financial Field. It's the Eagles Club Championship. Nick Mazesco, Rico Williams with you inside the locker room of the Super Bowl 52 champs. And what a phenomenal first semifinal we had. Henry able to pull out the victory. Bobby V looking for the upset. But now we get to move on to semifinal number 2, and this is one that I know a lot of people have been looking forward to. It is Big Gene taking on Tony. Big Gene, listen, let people know who don't know about Big Gene how great Big Gene is and was.
There was probably about a 5-year run where Big Gene was considered one of the top 3 players at any given time, and then there was a time afterwards where he was the GOAT of Madden. He took some time off, but now he's back. And he's back to see if people can put a little respect on his name because they forgot who he was. But as you can see how excited Gene is, he's ready to go. But here's the funny thing. Earlier today, him and Tony were talking, and Tony was saying that he used to be a Madden player back in the day, and he actually grew up and started playing Madden watching Gene. And now, he said it was a run game. He felt like trying to make a comeback. He was able to make it and wound up right here.
As we take a look at Tony coming into this tournament, he wanted everybody to know he's a foot and ankle surgeon from the city of Philadelphia, a local. Well, man, I almost said local boy. I'm sorry, I'm used to having Henry up there. We got a local dude up here who wanted me to point out that he is definitely an Eagles fan and has written off all fandom of other teams, mom and dad. I'm so sorry to disappoint you.
Well, he's going to have to perform surgery on both sides of the ball today if he's going to hope to win this one. You know, Gene's a predominantly run-heavy guy, but he's always been one to be creative on offense.
Hold on. Hashtag no Twitter boy.
Wow.
Tony, no Twitter? Tony's got no Twitter.
No, he has to have a Twitter.
No,
he
he's
should have
hashtag
borrowed
no
somebody's
Twitter boy.
Twitter. He could have borrowed. Can you borrow Twitter? Is that something you can do? If you want to give one of your boys or somebody a little bit of shout out, your lab partner, somebody he plays with has to have a Twitter.
Well, a reminder, we had a phenomenal first semifinal. Henry, last-second field goal to move on to the finals. We'll take on the winner of this game between Big Gene and Tony. And Rico, listen, we all know Big Gene. Tony, a little more of an unknown. How do you see this game playing out?
It's all going to come down to the bright lights. Hey, does Gene remember what it's like being under these bright lights? He's been in that seat before. So this is a little bit of just muscle memory, getting the dust off. For Tony, this is his first time on this big stage. We are in the Eagles locker room, as you said. Super Bowl 52 champs. He's a fan. He has Avante Maddox is over there just playing Madden with the guests and people here. This is a surreal moment. And to be able to block all that out, focus, and realize you're trying to get to San Francisco, it's a tough job.
Oh, a big shout out to everybody out there in Twitch land hanging out with us on this Tuesday night as we kick off another week of Madden Club Championship action here from Lincoln Financial Field. Yeah, I went and looked over there. Avante Maddox playing Madden with a young Eagles fan over there, and it did look like Avante Maddox was a nice guy and wasn't one of those. Who was it? Was it J.R. Smith who put like 100 on like a 12-year-old kid? Like he was playing him in 2K and just absolutely blew him out. Avante Maddox is much nicer over there. He's giving the kid a chance. He's only putting 80 on him.
You play to win the game. No mercy here. Now, as these guys are getting locked in, Gene actually was the runner-up in the 2003 Madden Challenge. He lost to Sandman in a great game. And then back in those days, you know, injuries were on. And so you could lose your – think about playing with Michael Vick and losing your Michael Vick in the first quarter and then having to bring out Schwab and the rest of them to try to get through for all that money. Then not only did he make it back the next year, he beat Antoine Pretty Boy Williams in the finals to claim the EA Madden Challenge. So he's been to the mountaintop.
Well, he is 2 wins away from a cool $6,000 in his pocket and a chance to win $100,000 in the club championships in December. As we look at some of the stats leading up to this. By the way, we had a poll on the League Ops Twitter who would win this Eagles Club Championship. 76% of people at home voted with Henry. Second place, Big Gene, taking 16% of the vote. And you look at Big Gene's stats. If you're looking for more of that air raid attack, that's not what Big Gene's going to run. 85%. run plays.
It's funny. All the old heads are blowing up my phone now. They're all texting and tweeting and everything. Gene's lab partner, 40 G's, a.k.a. Robert Hart. Some of you guys know him as Kevin Hart's brother, has just reached out. He wants to send Gene his good luck. Tony, where's your faculty? Why are the Tony people reaching out? This is going to be a great one.
She's right there. Look, she's right there.
Oh, there's Mrs. Tony. That's what we like to see. And Papa Tony. Good job. They're all coming in.
Rico's shouting out Tony's family like, why is nobody supporting him 4 feet away in front of us?
They
like, Rico, come on,
They haven't texted
man.
or tweeted, so I didn't know.
These guys restarting the game, getting their settings all set up. Let's go back to that first semifinal. Henry taking on Bobby V. How much of that do you think was, as we take a look, there's the supporting crowd. Wave to the Twitch fans out there. How much of that first game do you think was on Bobby V sticking to his game plan? How much of it do you think was maybe Henry taking it a little easy in that first round, not wanting to show too much, thinking maybe he had his spot already locked in the final?
I actually had a chance to talk to Henry for a quick second in between the games, and he was saying, and this is something, ladies and gentlemen, his hands were freezing. He said he had cold hands and was trying to adjust, and it took him a little bit. And by the time he was able to get warmed up, literally, he was in a dogfight.
Well, let's get it started in the chat. Hashtag give Henry some gloves. Let's get those hands warmed up as we got our second semifinal getting set up. Big Gene and Tony here inside the Eagles locker room. I'm telling you, it is humbling to walk in this room and see such great players like Carson Wentz, Zach Ertz, Nelson Aguilar, Alshon Jeffrey. I mean, this is a stacked locker room, and to think that each and every Sunday, well, D-Jax, I know every Eagles fan is going, hey, D-Jax, man, get healthy, man. We need you on the field.
They definitely do, and when he comes back, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. But, yeah, this locker room, you just imagine all the great pep talks that have been here. Dilly, dilly.
I walked by Jordan Howard and Miles Sanders' locker room and think back to my fantasy draft going, which guy should I take? I took Miles Sanders, and Jordan Howard has just put up like 9 touchdowns on the year. He's having a great year.
Well, that hurts a little bit. I have Zach.
Rico's going to be leaving us because that was horrible.
Ouch.
These guys getting set up, sounds like they are about ready to go, and we got semifinal number 2. Who will take on Henry to be crowned the Eagles club champion? Will it be Big Gene or will it be Tony?
I'm going to go ahead and throw that rock-solid pick out there, and I am going with Big Gene to get it done.
Sorry, Big Gene. Sorry, man.
As you see, my rock-solid did not jinx Henry.
It walked right up to that line. As these guys get their depth chart set up. And Rico, for the people at home, how important is this moment where they're just getting the players in the right positions? It's not quite as simple as just pick your team and let them play where they play.
Oh, no, this is an absolute must. And you don't want to mess up here because everything's based on timing and knowing where your players are supposed to be. And then when you're audibly switching formations, you know that you have your speed guys here, your hand guys there, your blockers here, your runners here. One wrong move in that depth chart, and you might now have your slow corner in the spot where you needed him in the slot. This is actual science, the way these guys put these together.
These guys look all about set up to go. Big Gene just waiting on the thumbs up from Tony. And we'll have the second semifinal underway. Don't forget, we got more club championships coming up this week, Thursday and Friday. From San Francisco, we'll have the South divisions taking on out in Redwood City. And then we got the Patriots Club Championship coming up this weekend.
I know Skimbo will be vying for that one. I actually had a chance to do that one last year. It's always a great time over there at Gillette.
I know RG's excited to get up to Foxborough.
Oh, I know he's going to have a good time out there. Get a chance to go home for a little bit, see all the family, have some good food, get a little good eating.
Let's get this second semifinal underway. It's going to be Big Gene with the ball first, and Looks like he's running out of that heavy Panther, Lamar Jackson. What a weekend he had in the NFL, putting on a show. He's looking to put on a show for Big Gene. He's actually gonna drop back to pass, and he's gonna find Evan Ingram left side.
Now, to see Gene come out with the Panther heavy Lamar, you know you're gonna get a lot of QB draw, but to see him throw the pass to open up just shows you he plans on being versatile.
Now there's the QB draw with Lamar. He'll pick up the first down. And Rico, I love that first play call from Big Gene. It's almost like folding a pair of aces and showing the table. You got to show that you're willing to do something out of the ordinary.
Yep, now he's going to keep Tony on his toes, going to be guessing, not knowing what's coming up.
How about George Kittle? What a tight end set that Big Gene has. He's got that powered up Evan Ingram and the powered up George Kittle. You see them both with the abilities underneath them. Of course, Lamar Jackson's going to have fast break escape artist as well. So he has the ability to find those tight ends on some of those short crossing routes, but you know that the big part of this is going to be Lamar Jackson running the ball. He's in the shotgun. So move Evan Ingram from the left side over to the right. Using all this clock. He's going to take Jackson right side. He'll fight through a tackle, pick up a first down, and you already see Rico, the veteran, Big Gene, using that entire play clock. He wants to shorten this game to as little possessions as possible.
This feels like a throwback. We came from an era where the quarterback sneak and you saw different things. He played with Vic back in the day, but he was always a great creative offensive mind. So it'll be interesting to see if he has anything outside of the meta as well.
He's just waiting.
And we told you, how do you slow down that running offense? Clock it.
As Lamar is going to pick up about 6 to the left side, bring up a 2nd and 4. And for Tony on the flip side, a lot of the battle against playing this sort of offense is just not getting frustrated. This is a frustrating offense to play against because you know what's coming, and a lot of times you can't even stop it. Look, it's just Lamar Jackson running left side, and he picks up the first down. When Tony gets the ball, he has to stay within his game plan.
We always said the most frustrating thing in Madden is not being able to stop the run. It completely takes you out of your mindset and your game plan. You find yourself forcing, not knowing how much time you're going to have on your offensive drives. It's really a big-time mind game.
3rd and short, why not? Lamar Jackson up the middle. And look at this, Rico. We are down almost at the 1.5-minute mark in the first quarter. It has been Big Gene, chew clocks on, and he's going to use that entire first quarter with Lamar Jackson.
Now, when you do run an offense like this, you cannot take 3. You need to put up 7s every single time.
As he hits the little short out route, and that's what we've seen. It's basically 3 plays for Big Gene, a couple of the variations of the quarterback run, and then he gets those tight ends on short outs or drag routes. As this may be the last play of the first quarter here on our first drive of the second semifinal. Lamar Jackson stumbling and bumbling. He'll pick up 2 and a first down.
Now, I told you a lot of the old heads are reaching out. I literally just got the Big Game speech from Big Game. Big Game James just sent me a message saying he didn't know that Big Gene was back and has now been inspired to make a comeback. Look at Gene putting the senior citizens back on the map.
0-0 the score. Tony hasn't even had a chance to touch the ball on offense. Little goal line formation, handoff. That's Tony Pollard, the Dallas Cowboy rookie out of Memphis, picking up a couple.
Fullback dive. When in doubt, when you don't know what the defense is in or you're not sure what's going on, fullback dive is the safest place you can call.
Now 2nd and 8, and that's why they love this heavy Panthers. You can audible into that goal line formation. How about Lamar looking to pass? He'll take off, but a good collapse as that's Williams making the play on Lamar Jackson, and the first time we're going to see Big Gene in an uncomfortable 3rd and 9.
He's going to need to go ahead and get this because you don't want to take all this time out and then only put up 3 because that puts you in a really bad situation if Tony gets 7.
Lamar left side, nowhere to go. Good defense by Tony, and Big Gene's going to have to settle for 3.
Yeah, running into your lineman like that isn't the way to go. Gene needs to, brush a little bit of that dust off, get back to that stick work he had back in the day, or else it's going to be a long game for him. Tony has to feel good with that half stop. It looked like he was going to have a little bit of trouble.
Ooh, he almost missed that one, snuck it in the right upright. It is up, it is good. A methodical drive from Big Gene, but almost ended with no points.
Yeah, and that would not have been good for the youngster. Now, Tony needs to be able to do something here because he has 3 minutes and he gets the ball back. If he is smart, he could put himself in complete control of this game because he was able to hold him to 3.
Both players setting their audibles on the other side of the ball, but what a drive by Big Gene using the entire first quarter and 2 minutes of the second. Now we get to see what Tony has offensively. If you're Tony, you feel good, though. Even with that drive, as frustrating as it may have been, he only gave up a field goal.
Yeah, if you're Tony, you couldn't have asked for a better time. You got the ball, you're getting the ball back at half, and you're in complete control.
What a stretch run. Saquon Barkley with the carry right side, but he'll lose 5 on the play, and Big Gene's defense looking to stand tall.
That looks like an old school rushing attack. Big Gene having a little something to stop the stretch. Let's see if he can continue to stop that stretch. Just getting it one time is not going to cut it.
We got Saquon Barkley. Looks like probably with jukebox in the backfield, but 2 stretch runs for Tony. Negative 11 yards, and now a 3rd and 21. First offensive drive hasn't gone well for Tony. What does he have? And the old bag of trips for a 3rd and long.
Did you say bag of trips? I like that. Good job.
It wasn't intentional, but thanks, man.
Oh, I see it. Your puns are just so phenomenal. I thought you said your bag of trips, bunch, trips, tight end.
It was more my tongue. I was like, it's a bag of trips. I feel like Adam Sandler in Waterboy. 3rd and 21. Drew Brees at the helm for Tony. It's a quarterback we haven't seen so far here in any of our club championships. Brees dropping back to pass. Pressure. Down goes Brees. Big Gene's defense with a defensive play.
3rd and 21. He comes from that old school Philly GTP mindset. They're not giving you a chance to run a 21-yard route. They are sending heat, pressure all day. They're going to make you uncomfortable in that pocket.
As Edwards with the punt. Prime time, Deion Sanders. Trying to get to midfield, but his own blocker was like, yo, am I supposed to block the defense? Am I supposed to block you? Got a little confused there.
Now, Gene needs 7 here. 3 doesn't really help him that much. He needs to find a way to get in that end zone and put some more pressure on Tony.
Now, if y'all were interested in watching about a 15-minute game of Madden, you're going to see it here. As Big Gene, minute 48 to go in the first half, back in that heavy Panther with Lamar Jackson. He's got Evan Ingram and George Kittle on the field. Both on the right side. How about Lamar dropping back to pass on 1st and 10? How about he takes off? And he'll slide down to the 45-yard line, avoiding a hit.
Take what the defense gives you. Tony had great defense. Everybody was covered. But when you don't account for that mobile quarterback, he's able to continue to move the sticks.
2nd and 3, Lamar. Oh, just absolutely bowling over the defense. Just one more time, right up the middle. And now 1st and 10 for Big Gene as we're at the 1-minute mark to go in the first half. Jackson, right down Broad Street, picks up 2.
Yeah, he's going to need to try to get outside. It seems like Tony has everything in that middle bunched up, and you just run in there trying to hope you get through something.
Also, Tony looking for that defensive line to make some plays. He's got Star Latulele, he's got Linval Joseph. How about 2nd and 8, throwing the ball, looking for George Kittle. And the defense making a play on the tight end, able to pry that ball free. 3rd and 8 for Big Gene.
It's funny. You have Henry, who's inspired all of the youth and the 16-year-olds to come on out here. My phone has not stopped blowing up. Shout-outs to Reality. Rod Wynn, he's saying the old heads popping up. Gene has the entire senior faculty supporting him.
The double ARP is out for Big Gene as a 1st down for Lamar Jackson. Waiting, looking, patient, but nowhere to go on the right side. Actually lose a couple there. 25 seconds and counting for Gene.
Yeah, you got to make something happen here. He has less than 10 seconds remaining. You don't want to wind up getting caught and not putting any points on the board.
Try to find something up the middle. Big Gene will take his last time out. Attempt a field goal here from the 30-yard line. A 47-yard attempt. Ooh, missed it a little right. Let's see if it is up. It is going wide right. And Tony with a fist pump because with 1 second left. He just held Big Gene to no points. And we will presumably go to halftime with only a 3-0 score. Who's feeling better right now, Big Gene or Tony?
Tony has to be. knows that he did not play well at all. He has negative yards on offense, but he's getting the ball back. And he's actually
he's got Saquon Barkley in space. You never know what'll happen. Saquon to the house. Touchdown for Tony. The missed field goal. Only one tick on the clock, but that's plenty for the New York Giants.
And there you have it. Sometimes Madden's good to you. Sometimes Madden's not. And Gene missed that field goal.
Tony missed the extra point.
And Tony misses the extra point. This Philly kicking bug is going around and is biting everybody.
Oh, halftime in Philly. 6-3 Tony with the lead. But it appears both Tony and Big Gene watched the 49ers kick field goals last night, because they got 2 misses already, and it is only a 3-point game.
But that 3 is huge now. Now Gene has to find a way to get in the end zone if he's looking to win this game. And Tony is in complete control of this game now if he can get a touchdown here.
Barkley right side. Well, so how about that? You run 3 plays on your first drive, you go backwards 11 yards, you run 1 play on your next drive, and you just house it from 70 out.
EA Sports to the game.
At the 31-yard line.
6-3. He was flipping through that strong playbook.
Oh, yeah.
Second out and 4. Tony with a 3-point lead. How about trying Barkley right up the middle? Good pressure. Instead of a big 3rd and 1.
Now this 3rd and 1, Tony needs to be smart. Do not allow this 3rd and 1 to turn into 4th and 3. Got to have a great play call here.
These players locked in this $1,200 game of Madden. Winner of this one will take on Henry for the right to be the Eagles club champion. Barkley cuts outside, has a first down and more. He's into open space. 40, 35, 30. Reed trying to run him down. He'll be down to the 25-yard line. Barkley goes over the century mark and, more importantly, puts Tony in position to score.
You got to get off the field there. It's tough to give that run up. 1 missed tackle in this year's game, and that could be house music all night long.
Corey Grant in at halfback, spelling the tired Saquon Barkley. Fullback Ripkowski split wide right. How about a stretch run to Grant? Tries to find some room up the middle. Big Gene bringing the defense.
This is where you got to go with that bend, don't break. You cannot give up 7 here if you're Gene. You hold him to 3, that touchdown still gives you that 10-9 lead. You cannot give up 7 here. It's not like his offense is built to score quick like back in the day. He has a dink and dunk, ground and pound, 3 yards in a cloud of dust, and give it back to Lamar offense. So you can't give up a touchdown.
Handoff, Barkley right side, trying to find some room. Bailey, juked out of his shoes, and Barkley's into the end zone. How about Tony? The last 2 drives, all he's done is put up the only touchdowns of the game. The family is pumped. Rico said he had no fans. He's got 2 right here. They may not be tweeting, but they're cheering pretty loud.
They're going crazy. By the way, Big Gene is the oldest competitor out of all the 128 finalists at 35.
Well, he's going to have to find a way to put some points on the board, Rico, because at the end of the day, as you mentioned it, this is the tough part about running that heavy Panther chew clock offense. Didn't cash in on 1 drive, only got a field goal on the other, and now finds himself down 10.
And not only is he down 10, he's down 10 with that clock ticking, ticking, ticking. It is not his friend right now.
Lamar Jackson at the helm for Big Gene. He's going to air it out, looking for Ingram one more time. That's been there all day. Picks up 11.
Jackson's pass complete to Evan Ingram. A gain of 12. First down, Eagles.
1st and 10. How about Lamar tries to cut back? Oh, he had a big lane right side. But unfortunately, those defenders, they are corporeal beings. You do have to avoid them.
That was poor stick work on Gene's part. He needs to make the most of that. He waits. Got to get outside there. He's cutting it in too close, and he's allowing those defenders to get a hand on him, and then once they do, it's a wrap.
Now 3rd and 4 for Gene, nearing midfield. Ball's at the 47-yard line. Lamar Patiently waiting, trying to get outside, but Ryan Shazier, too much speed, the secure tackle, and a big, big, big 4th and 2, Rico, for Big Gene.
It doesn't get bigger than this. You got to make sure you pick this one up. Look for him to go back to that tight end in route to Kittle. I don't think he can take the chance of running this with Lamar. Definitely going to have to throw this ball.
4th down and 2. 2 runs to the outside haven't worked for Lamar. What will Big Gene do near the 1-minute mark in the 3rd quarter? Pollard split out wide left. Jackson dropping back to pass. He finds Ingram. There's that short out route. It's another 1st down.
You knew it was coming. He makes you make a decision. He brings that motion guy out there. You got to pick your poison. Way to get that 1st down, Gene, but you know what? It's taking a lot of time.
That clock continues ticking as we're under 34 to go. Lamar picks up 3.
As these guys go back and forth, do you know who's enjoying this game the most? Henry. Henry is sitting back watching this like, I think I'm okay.
He was looking right side that time, maybe mixing it up a little too much. Ryan Shazier with the sack. Ladies and gentlemen, 4's up in the chat, 4's up in the house. We're heading to the 4th quarter, 5 minutes away from filling our Eagles Club Championship, and it is Tony with a 2-score lead.
Tony scored rather quickly. I feel like it's taking Gene almost 2.5 minutes to move 20 yards.
Lamar on 3rd and 10. Looks the flat. It wasn't open the entire way. Taylor swats that one down. 4th and long, and one more time. Big Gene's going to have to come up with a big conversion.
I don't think I've ever seen somebody throw a flat route in the double coverage.
Well, there's a first for everything. 4th and 10. Pollard split out wide left. Lamar dropping back, waiting, looking, finds Ingram, flag down. He might get DPI on that. Just got there a hair early. And Big Gene has new life with that 1st down conversion.
He's going to still need to speed this thing up. 4 minutes and 53 seconds. He needs a score, a stop, and another score.
Lamar, nowhere to go. 2 yards. Seems like, man, 18 carries, 61 yards. Seems like he's got to stick with that passing game, and if it's not there, take off, because that's the only place he's had any success running the ball.
Couldn't agree with you more, and he went right to it.
And there he goes. He takes off with Lamar. 1st down and more. Ooh, takes a hit. Dangerous to do with a quarterback, but picks up 12.
That parted like the Red Sea for him, and he was able to make the most of that. Look for him to go right back to that one.
A great night of Madden action. Big shout out to the Eagles organization for all they do for the game of Madden, for hosting such a phenomenal event here inside Lincoln Financial Field. As I think a couple people are going to be picking up that Evan Ingram.
Yeah, some people will be picking up that route, too. And I like how he's lowballing it.
2nd and 1. Lamar from 3 yards out. He'll pick up, we'll say 2 of it, to the 1-yard line. Quickly back to the line, 3:19 and counting. Down by 10, needs to score here. Lamar stops short of the line. Clock keeps ticking, Rico.
Wow, he definitely needs to hurry to get this in before that 2-minute warning.
They say if it ain't broke, don't fix it, but right now it's not working. How about 3rd time's the charm? Lamar Jackson into the end zone. Big Gene has cut this back to a 1-score game. And he made the extra point, so that's pretty cool.
It's getting better, getting better. That field goal, Gene will be thinking about that missed field goal for quite some time. If he makes that field goal, there's never that touchdown before the half. It's a whole different ball game.
How about Denzel Ward? A nice return to the 30-yard line. Under 3 to go, Rico. Big G needing his defense to step up big. For Tony, how much do you stick to that stretch run that has been sort of inconsistent?
You gotta make a play, and you cannot afford to give up anything big right here. This is where you have to lock in.
Barkley cuts it up inside, gets 3. Big Gene uses his first timeout.
Oh, wow, he's trying to do it all right here.
Does have the 2-minute warning to work with. I actually like the timeout there. If he picks up 8 here, you still technically have 3 timeouts. 2nd 7 stretch run the other way. Oh, what a click on by Big Gene getting to Deion Sanders. Timeout taken. Huge 3rd down.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, and he got lucky there that Tony brought that one out. Now this 3rd and 4 is going to be interesting. If he
switches the I formation. He's got Barkley at the top of that eye. Joe Thomas with nasty streak in motion from left to right. It's going to be a stretch run one more time. The defense was there, and Barkley is stopped for a 1-yard gain, and Tony is going to be forced to punt on 4th and 3.
You think he's punting?
No, he's going for it.
I'm like, no way he's punting.
He's looking to seal this one up. 2:38 to go. Tony looking for the offense to pick up 3 yards, 3 measly yards for a spot in the final.
Here
Barkley.
it goes. Can Gene pick the right? Oh, he has to guess right here. You got to guess
Stretch
right.
run, blocked nicely. Barkley can't make the third guy miss, and Big Gene's going to have the ball in great field position, down by 3.
That was everything he could ask for and then some. And you notice Gene's expression doesn't change. He's locked and he's focused. He's been in this position before. That's the difference here. He's been in that hot seat. He's trailed in big games, and he's known how to fight back. Now, can he make the most of this? He needs 7.
Tony does still have all 3 timeouts. We have seen Big Gene miss a field goal already today. Jackson trying to get outside. Only will pick up 2. 23 carries, 79 yards. Hasn't been spectacular, but has him in position to tie this game up.
Yeah, and if you're Gene, you got to play smart. You don't want to do anything that takes you out of field goal range or that changes the clock situation. Be cerebral.
We will hit the 2-minute warning. We had a phenomenal first semifinal. Second semifinal said, anything you can do, I can do better. What a great game, 13-10. Tony with a slim lead. Big Gene, though, with the momentum. Ingram in motion to the right side. It's going to be Jackson dropping back to pass. Waiting, looking, nobody home, runs into his own guy, dumps it off to George Kittle underneath. And he's got a first down, takes a huge hit at the 24, laying lumber, but gets the key first down.
That hit was incredible. He's lucky to hold on to that one. But you got to give Gene credit for that pocket presence. He did not get flustered, found his man, was able to move those sticks.
This motion is typically meant a pass. They're going to run it left side. Jackson stumbling, still picks up 7. Minute 19 and counting. Big Gene wants this to be the last drive of the game.
Tony is not using those timeouts yet. He's going to try to figure out something.
Tony leaving up to the defense that has played well so far today. Lamar, there's your corner out. It's right there. You got to know it's coming. Picks up 10. Big Gene's in business.
Now you can breathe a little. Woosah, 24 seconds. You got to still manage it. Big Gene has no timeouts left. Let's remember that.
And this clock continuing to run. Gonna drop back to pass. Looking, oh, it's picked off. Tony with the pick. It's Wilson underneath. He jumps the route. 10 seconds left. The defense coming up big. Will he house it? He's to the 20, 15, 10. And he will fall down at the 5-yard line. Tony's defense with a massive interception to seal a spot in the championship game.
Wow. Some people are wondering, why do you throw that? He had it. He was sitting on the left side that he's wanting to throw the whole time. Gene comes up a little short. I know Tony is so excited. He's able to act like his business as usual, to act like, hey, this is just all the day's work. But he knows he just took out a Madden legend, somebody that he has watched and played and practiced and learned off of. And now, guess what he's rewarded with? Henry.
Well,
he gets to see Henry now.
He may not have a Twitter, but with that $1,200 he earned from that game, he can buy himself some Twitter followers. As what a performance by Tony, and now we get set up with a phenomenal final. Henry and Tony. Tony, the defense coming up big in that game. Henry coming off maybe a little bit of a lackluster performance. Early thoughts on that game?
Henry.
All right, well.
That's it. But what I will tell you is that surgeon performed surgery there. He got that defensive stop when he needed it to. You say offense sells tickets, defense wins championships. Everybody had counted him out. It was just a matter of, was Gene going to be able to score in those 23 seconds? Tony didn't buckle. He didn't take any of his timeouts. He let it happen, got that pick, sealed his game. He's moving on to the finals.
Nobody loves it. I mean, everybody loves a just down to the wire finish. And now we have our final set for a spot in San Francisco. It's going to be Henry taking on Tony. Tony's got his family in the front. Henry, we know how many supporters he has. We got the crowd here at Lincoln Financial Field. We're going to take a quick break. Grab yourself a drink of water, maybe a snack, and then get back here because we're going to have our Eagles Club Championship game Only one is going to get that final spot. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Yeah, you see him. That is the Eagles Madden 20 Club Championship.
This is the closest
chain.
I'll ever get to it.
No, because we're actually going to be presenting it to the winner after this great finals game that we have coming up here.
It is incredibly heavy. I realize I need to go work out my neck strength because it's a struggle. We're going to be crowning an Eagles Club champion here from Lincoln Financial Field inside the Eagles locker room. They're going to be getting this chain, and they're going to be getting some money, and they're going to get a chance to win $100,000 at the club championships in December. Thank you so much to everybody out there hanging with us in the Twitch chat and everybody here inside the Eagles locker room. Nick Mazesco, Rico Williams, and Rico. It's not the final I think many were thinking about. You see the names of Henry and Big Gene, you go, that's going to be it. But that's the great part about the game of Madden is you got to finish it on the field. Tony putting on a great performance, and now he's looking to pull off the upset that Bobby V couldn't.
I definitely think this is the final that Tony was visioning. He said, okay, I got to handle Big Gene, and he's probably expecting Henry to get out. But what I'll tell you is he realized that he took out a Madden legend. He took out somebody that he grew up playing. That was his hurdle to jump over. Now he's playing with house money. There's no real pressure on him. He's trying to get there. He knows what it's like to be on this stage. Now he's just going to be able to play his game and see how it ends.
It's like the players are ready to go. The crowd is ready to go. And we got ourselves a championship game. Henry and Tony for the right to represent the Philadelphia Eagles at the December Club Championships. Rico, this is why we play the game, to crown a champ, and there are two very worthy players playing for the right to be the Eagles Club champion.
Yeah, you got to remember, the Eagles, they fought through a gauntlet of thousands just to get here. And then they've had to play against the best of the best. These two guys should be incredibly proud of the run they've made. One of them will be moving on to represent the Eagles, but both of these guys have put in solid work.
As Tony and Henry get their depth chart set, their audibles all set up. Rico, obviously Henry, the favorite going in to this game. I don't think either player had as strong of an offensive performance maybe as they were looking. Henry had a couple turnovers in that game. Tony didn't get that run game going quite so early, but both players' defense standing tall late in the game.
Yeah, but here's the only question I'm going to have about the defense. Henry doesn't play the typical offensive game that people are accustomed to. Now, Henry's about to face Tony's offense that he's used to seeing that stretch, the dive, all that stuff regularly. So look for him to play his regular game. Now, after dealing with the Panther Heavy and Lamar, Tony has to get into a whole different mind frame in order to deal with Henry's prolific offense.
And for Henry, you got to wonder, did he warm up his hands prior to this game?
Oh, definitely. There was no way he was going to another game without cold hands. He was juggling 2 hot cups of coffee, 1 hot chocolate, and then had the little microwave things near him, too.
Big shout out to everybody from the Eagles organization for hosting us. Swoop's in the building. Avante Maddox in the building.
Swoop, there he is.
Swoop, there he is. Swoop, there he is.
Thought you knew.
First down and 10. It's going to be Henry with the ball to kick off this Eagles Club final. How about Torrey Holt? Possession catch, safe from the hit, but it did look like there was a lot of room for Torrey Holt to maybe house that one.
Yeah, he wanted to make sure that he brought that one down, didn't want to take any chances, but if he would have just made that one guy miss, he'd have still been running.
Luck on 1st and 10, outside of the pocket. Good coverage downfield. He'll have to throw that out of bounds.
Henry's not going to allow him to grab that interception like Tony did on Gene. He's going to make him work for his stops.
Now 2nd out of 10 for Henry. The 16-year-old plays second at the Madden Classic here in Madden 20. Pressure off the right side. How about Tony's defense with a couple big plays, and now a 3rd and 10.
That might be one thing he picked up from watching his earlier game. You cannot give Henry time to go through and pat the ball and look through all of his reads and wait for everybody. He's sending those dogs at him.
On 3rd and 10, Luck stepping up. Blown coverage, that's Marvin Harrison. You can't leave him with that much space. Marvin Harrison walks into the end zone. Henry strikes first.
Yeah, blown coverage is an understatement. You got to know where he is on the field at all times. I always used to wonder back in the day when he played for the Colts how he would get that open also. It wasn't like they had a myriad of great receivers, but Henry with a great play call. Tony with that slip up, you got to put that behind you, and you got to get some points on the board now.
Now we'll see Tony's offense come out. We saw a lot of stretch. Saquon Barkley at running back with that jukebox showed off the speed. But is he going to be able to do something against Henry's defense, which, listen, Henry's defense made some key plays late in that semifinal game, but Rico, he gave up 30 points to Bobby V.
And it could have been a couple more if Bobby V would have been able to get his stick work together.
First down and 10. Henry getting a chance to watch, by the way, that semifinal. And that's the advantage to going first, is you get the opportunity to sit back and watch what your opponent does. So Henry very familiar with what Tony's going to do.
And it showed on that first play as he was in that backfield immediately. But if you remember, that's how Gene started out as well. Those first 2 plays, he was in that backfield. Takes Tony a little bit of time to warm up that offensive engine.
Nick Mazesco, Rico Williams, thank you so much to everybody who's hung out with us. Handoff, Barkley right side, nowhere to go. Third and 17. Breeze under center, Barkley in the backfield. Breeze dropping back to pass. Looks over the middle, nowhere to go. Inaccurate throw, lot of Henry's defenders there. And how about Henry with a defensive stop to kick off this game? Deion Sanders takes the punt, little stop and go action. He'll take it to midfield. If Tony's gonna stay in this game, Rico, how important is maybe even just holding Henry to 3 on this drive?
He needs to hold him to 0 on this drive. You cannot go down by double digits to a player as good as Henry this early. And you don't want to get demoralized. You need to get this stop, get a little bit of momentum, and find a way to put some points on the board.
Hall nowhere to go, left side. Loss of 1 on the play. End of this game, not only will he get this amazing chain as the Eagles Club champion, they'll get to spend a little time one-on-one with Rico Williams. Our winner's interview coming up at the completion of this game. 2nd and 11. 2:36 in counting in the first quarter. Luck steps up, rolls out. He's going to take off, and he's got some room. Bart can't make the tackle from behind. Big hit on the sidelines, but Luck picking up 22.
And that was great Madden knowledge. And what I mean by that is he knew that Luck was faster than him, so a lot of people might have ran out of bounds or not tried to continue on with that play. He wasn't worried about taking the hit because he knew that linebacker was not catching him.
The final of the Eagles Club Championship, Henry and Tony. Henry, the 16-year-old from Chicago. Tony, the foot and ankle surgeon from the Philadelphia area. Luck on 1st and 10, quick throw left side. He's got Holt out of bounds near the first down marker.
The ability of Henry to make his reads so quickly is just absolutely phenomenal.
First and 10 for Andrew Luck and Henry's offense. He's looking for Marvin Harrison. High pass. Good defense by Tony, able to click on and make a play. And now a 2nd and 10 for Henry out of that gun punch.
If you're Tony, you got to hope for a tip drill here, pick, turnover. You got to come up with something here.
Luck outside of the pocket, looking over the middle. That's Dante Hall, and Hall will go right down the hall to the end zone. Touchdown for Henry. He looks locked in this Eagles Club Championship.
If you were to watch this game right here from the beginning, at no point would you think that this was a so-called running game this year. You would not think that the meta was stretch and Panther heavy. Henry is showing you and putting on a clinic right now to say you can play this game any way you want to play it if you're willing to put in the time, put in the work, and come up with an offensive scheme.
Well, this a gut check time for Tony. needing to score to cut into this lead, needing to score just to stay in this game. Last thing you want to do is give the ball back to Henry, down 2 scores. We're not even at the end of the first quarter. Breeze, Barkley outside. Fowler trying to get there, he can't. Barkley with some room. Apke with the tackle though. 6-yard gain on the play.
I thought he was going to run. I thought that was going to be a 12-yard loss. Then I thought it was going to be a touchdown. Then it turned into winding up being a 7-yard gain. Gotta love this game.
2nd down and 3. Thomas in motion from right to left. He's got that nasty streak. As it's going to be a throw here from Tony. He finds Grant. 1st down, breaking out everything. Here in the Eagles Club Championship, we hadn't seen a whole lot of passing from Tony.
So the question you have to ask yourself is he reaching into his bag of tricks now to pull out the rest of his arsenal, or has he stopped everything he can do and now he's just looking for plays and trying to find something that works?
It has been all Henry in the first quarter. But Tony with the ball, taking a look through his playbook, trying to figure out the right play to end the first quarter on. And if there's one thing to make fans of Tony, maybe take a deep breath. Let's remember how he started his game against Big Gene. I think he had negative 11 yards on the ground. Big Gene had 2 long drives. But with 1 second left in the first half, Tony able to hit a 70-yard touchdown run, and it was basically domination from there. Play clock down under 5, down to 4, flipping the play. And he's going to take a delay of game. Maybe a little bit of a rookie mistake. You didn't think we'd be talking about rookie mistake with the person who wasn't the 16-year-old.
Exactly. Those lights are blinding sometimes on that big stage. And especially when your run is getting stopped, you got to turn that corner.
Barkley gets around the corner. The Mutt hero, Troy Apke, with a touchdown-saving tackle. We've reached the end of one. It is all the runner-up of the Madden Classic, Henry, 14-0. How about Barkley? Good blocking left side. Escapes one tackle, trying to get around Polamalu. He cannot, but finally, maybe Tony takes a deep breath, get that running game going.
So this amazing Philadelphia Eagle Club Championship chain, does Tony have a better shot at wearing this when he performs surgery, or Henry wearing it to school?
I would love to see Tony doing an ankle ligament repair, wearing the Eagles Club Championship. There's nothing I want to see more. As Barkley right up the middle, trying to find some room. 15 inside the 10. Saquon getting rolling.
Now, if you're Tony, you have to get 7 here. You've marched down the field. You've found a couple of plays that seem to be working. You have to build on this. You cannot take a stop here.
Saquon Barkley not on the field. Corey Grant into the game. He'll take the stretch run. Not quite as fluid with Corey Grant. Only going to pick up maybe a half a yard on the play.
That's going to hurt.
Big shout out to everybody out in the chat. They're throwing the GGs up already because they know how good Henry is, but we saw a lot from Tony in that second semifinal. Appreciate you guys spending your Tuesday with us. Hope you're having a wonderful week and enjoying all the Madden action as Barkley outside. Joe Thomas, he's an absolute wrecking ball on the edge as Barkley finds the end zone, and Tony puts his first points on the board.
Now you see Tony starting to nod his head. He's bouncing a little. He's getting his swag back. Now, you got to turn that into a defensive stop. You can swag all you want after you score, but if you're going to go ahead and just trade back and forth with Henry now, you're not going to catch him.
8 plays, 83 yards. Saquon Barkley finding the end zone from 7 yards out. Henry back on offense. Also, a big shout out to everybody who came out to Lincoln Financial Field. It's cold, it was a rainy day, a little bit of snow, a windy day. We all fought the elements and came here to watch some great Madden action. We certainly do appreciate it. Nick Mazesko, Rico Williams with the luck on 1st and 10. Pressure up the middle. He finds Dante Hall. Look out. He's in space. Nears midfield.
Not how you wanted to follow up that quick touchdown if you were Tony by giving up that big pass on that 1st down here. You got to lock in. He hasn't crossed the midfield yet, so we still have a chance.
Luck outside of the pocket on 1st and 10. Looks up the field. Oh, it's an overthrow. It's picked off Denzel Ward. A turnover, just what Tony needed. Looking to return this past midfield. Bakhtiari can't make the tackle, but he runs out of bounds. What a pick, and almost a touchdown for Tony, who is in great field position.
The fact that he did not take that pick to the house could come back and haunt him. You do not want to, you need 7 here. You can't afford to take 3. You need to make the most of this. He needs to find a way to get his offense moving.
Barkley, stretch run. Oh, he's in open space. 15, 10, 5. We got a 13-14 game. Almost said a tie ball game, but we've seen extra points miss. Tony, what a response to go down 14-0 early.
And he is carving that defense up like he's a what?
A surgeon?
It works.
Surgeon punts at 2, and it got the over-under set at 4.5.
Is he going for 2?
He is going for 2. He doesn't trust the kick. He trusts his run game to take the lead. Barkley fighting. Can't get there. He'll stay down 1. An interesting call early. But right now, Tony, he's playing for keeps.
I do not know why he made that call. Like, I understand that you're feeling a little bit of momentum. You're doing whatever. But you saw that point could be a huge, wow.
Well, an unfortunate overthrow for Henry. Tony able to cut it to a 1-score lead, a 1-point lead, 2:34 to go. Henry back on offense out of the gun bunch. Andrew Luck in the shotgun, Harrison in motion. Here comes Luck, pressure picked up nicely. He's got all day to throw, and he's gonna find Marvin Harrison. Makes a man miss, gets past midfield, very similar to how Henry started the last drive.
Tony needed to realize he has been able to slow Henry down by sending pressure. Every time he's allowed Henry time to go through his progressions and sit back there, Henry has carved him up.
1st down and 10 for Henry. Luck over the middle, just finds Logan. 2-minute warning.
Tough way to make a living. That was, ooh, you tip your hat to him for that one.
What can Henry do to close out the first half? An interception on his last drive. Luck, pressure up the middle, picked up nicely. He's out of the pocket. He's got a man. It's Torrey Holt. Drop it in the bucket. Andrew Luck with a throw. And Henry shaking off the interception on the last drive, putting 6 on the board. Extra point, up and good. It's an 8-point game.
You got to feel for Tony right there. He was doing everything to cover that receiver on that post. And then to just get hit back over the top to Torrey Holt, that's real bad.
And Rico, we mentioned in our first semifinal, we're actually crowning a new Eagles Club champion, Figgy, able to take it the first 2 years.
Yeah, he beat Estello, you know, definitely a name we've heard in Philly many, many times, and then took out Noonan after that. We're going to have a new one. Is it going to be Tony or O. Henry?
We saw Noonan this year in the Broncos Club Championship. Lost to Turbo Jeff in the final.
Shout out to Turbo Jeff, always a solid guy. Real funny in the Players Lounge.
And great singer. Well, singer. Let's go with the singer. As Troy Apke shoots the gap, takes down Barkley. Rico, I've always heard that one of the hardest things in live finals is controlling the ebb and flow of emotions. And for Tony, big emotional win, able to take down Gene with that last-second pick. Goes down 14-0. Dropping back with Breeze. He'll find Barkley left side, but nowhere to go. Goes down 14-0. Has a chance to tie it up. Doesn't get the 2-point conversion. Then gives up a touchdown. How important is this drive here now, 3rd and 15?
This is everything right here, because now he's going to be chasing points because he didn't get that 2-point conversion. So that's stuck on your mind. And now he's letting that run into this drive.
Oh, he's got a blown coverage over the top. Is that Ryan Shazier at tight end? The linebacker making a diving catch?
Wow, he can do it all. That's your boy from the Ohio State. Man, Tony opening up his whole playbook. Little dilly-dilly. We are here in Philly, So you never know who's going to catch a pass.
Oh, you gotta love the game of Madden NFL 20 when a linebacker is making catches. Tony talking with the admins.
Has Henry blinked yet?
There it is. I just saw it.
Oh,
there's
there he
another
goes.
one.
His
There's
face
another
never
one. There's another
changes.
one.
He never lost it.
Blink count 2019 is here. 1st and 10 after Ryan Shazier, the unlikely hero, making a huge catch over the top. Stretch run for Barkley.
Oh.
Juke move inside. Give him 4.
There's a nice little hezzy. He hit him right there, right? Got him a couple extra yards.
What is Ryan Shazier's catch rating? I gotta know, because he laid out full extension. 50 seconds left in the first half. Stretch run left side. Barkley just a shade late on that cutback.
Yeah, now it's 3rd and 4. This is a big deal here because you got to keep this drive going. You don't want to be forced to settle for 3.
Breeze dropping back to pass. Is Shazier out there? Is his number one weapon out there? Oh, Henry bringing Cameron Wake. It might be cold here in Philly, but Henry just brought the heat.
You cannot take that sack there. He was in a great position. Now he got to settle in for this 3. If he makes it.
53-yard field goal.
Which he
That's
did.
drifting right, and it is no good.
You went from going for 2 because you didn't trust yourself on an extra point to taking that sack to make sure you try to kick this 57-yarder. He's hustling backwards right now. He has to get back refocused. He has to lock back in, or else Henry's about to run away with this game.
21-13, and with 20 seconds left, plenty of time. Pressure in the middle. Luck outside of the pocket. He's going to look for the crossing route. He's got Marvin Harrison. Good discipline there by Tony not to go for that tackle too early, but Henry already in field goal range.
Yeah, Henry has found his groove. He knows what's going on right now. He has 14 seconds left. He knows he wants to put up a few more points. He's willing to take 24-13, but he wants 28.
He will take 24-13 if he can make this field goal. Sliding down at the 22-yard line. Final timeout taken by Henry. Looking to go into the half, up by 11. Sam Ficken, the kick is up, and it is halftime. 10 minutes of game left, Rico. It is a 2-score game. Back and forth affair, the ebb and flow of emotions. I still don't know who's going to come away as the Eagle Club champion.
It's all going to depend on this drive right here. Down 11. Tony has to put up 7 here because if you turn this ball over to Henry, he's too smart. He'll start milking the clock. He'll take his time. He's still putting up these points.
1st and 10 for Tony with the ball to start the second half. Stretch run. Barkley, it's got some room. Polamalu out there. He'll make the tackle.
Gotcha.
Now a 2nd and 2. Thomas in motion from right to left. I've already seen him wreak some havoc with that nasty streak at tight end. He runs Barkley right up the middle. I know he's trying to show a different look, Rico, but that middle run has not worked.
It hasn't worked in any of the games. He needs to stay to the outside, get himself to the wide side of the field, get Barkley in some space, and let an athlete be an athlete.
That jukebox go to work as he'll cut it back inside with Barkley. Nice read there from Tony getting the first down. 15 carries, 119 yards for Saquon Barkley. Shout out to the entire crew here at Lincoln Financial Field, everybody inside the Eagles locker room, and to everybody in the Twitch chat. So happy to have you along with us. Nick Mazesco, Rico Williams, the championship game here at the Philadelphia Eagles Club Championship. Looking to succeed Figgy as the second different Eagles Club champion. Will it be Henry or will it be Tony? 1st and 10, Barkley left side. Henry's defense. Denzel Ward in the backfield.
He's locked in right now. Henry is who we thought he was. So we can go ahead and crown him right now. He is executing on both sides of the ball. He has him guessing every which way. And it seems like he's in his huddle, knowing every read he wants to go with.
All right, listen. It's third quarter. I know we've got it's a Madden championship, but I need Rico's breaking news line. So Rico, give me the breaking news line.
Breaking news when it feels like breaking.
The #1 Kentucky Wildcats in men's basketball just lost by 3 to Evansville. 67-64.
Don't they have the long sleeve shirts? I
have all the information I have.
I definitely believe Evansville plays with long sleeve T-shirts. Let me get some clarification on that.
The new #1 team goes down to unranked Evansville. Party in Indiana. 3rd and 18. Over the middle. Triple coverage. That's no good. King with the pick. He's got open space. The defense looking to put points on the board. And Henry's looking for that spot in San Francisco. He's up by 3 scores.
And you could not tell the difference. He looks like he's trying to figure out if he finished his math homework. He still has not chosen to show emotion yet. This is all business for him.
(31-13). Henry with a major blow to the chances of Tony. That pick 6. 2:21 to go, Rico. We know it's not over until there are zeros on the clock. The problem for Tony is his offense hasn't been particularly quick scoring.
No. And when he's broken it, it hasn't really been because of an amazing play call. It was just, he got outside and was able to make something happen with Saquon. But now Henry has made his adjustments. He's all over this offense that Tony's running. Right now, you may have to start asking Madden.
Troy Apke, who you'll see on a lot of lineups. He is quick, a good tackler. Call him a Mutt Hall of Famer because so many of the competitive players love having him on their team. 2nd and 15, Barkley left side. He's got a little bit of room. Jukes back inside. How good is this Troy Polamalu Mutt 10 card they've put into the game? Everybody's using him at safety, and with secure tackler, he may be the best defender on the field.
We got to see if Stat Czar Donnie Moore can come up with how many one-on-one with nobody behind him touchdowns has Troy Polamalu saved throughout this MCS by bringing these people down.
He's probably got about an 89-90% touchdown save rate. As 4th and 1 for Tony, trying to keep the hope alive of being the Eagles Club champion. Already picked up a cool extra $1,200 for getting to the championship game. Plus, he's got to hang out in this phenomenal Eagles locker room. Barkley tries to cut inside. Henry's defense stifling. He'll get the ball back. 20 carries, 120 yards. Just not enough, as Henry now starting to show why people call him the Phenom.
Yeah. Here's the question that Henry makes you think. Is it that Henry can stop Tony's run, or can the run be stopped? Which one is it? Because people say anybody can just run the stretch, anybody can just run the dive. But the way Henry's playing defense on it, it seems like you're not doing that against him, at least not consistently and not consistently successfully.
Torrey Holt with the carry, left side. He'll get the first down. I truly believe when we get down to December, when we have the best 32 there, as Forrest up in the chat, 4th quarter time, it's all Henry, 31-13. I truly believe once the talent level goes up, you're going to see the run defense get a little better, and you're going to see much more mixing up of plays in that tournament in December.
And speaking of how you score your points, Stat Czar Donnie Moore flying in.
Marvin Harrison scoring points for Henry one more time, 37-13.
28% of Henry's touchdowns have come on defense. You want to talk about being productive on both sides of the ball? Wow.
Well, let's show something else that we have seen in these 2 games. We said coming into this, Henry, one of the higher scoring players, averaging 33 points per game. First game, semifinal, scored 33. He's got 38 in this game. Is Henry the favorite? If you had to pick 2 players that you would say are your favorites, and we don't know how many of these clubs are going, but going into the clubs, is he one of the top 2 favorites considering his run at the Classic and his run here at the Eagles Club Championship?
Absolutely. You would have to say he's the one to beat. With Sirius Mo getting knocked out already, you'd have to say that puts Henry in the #1 spot as long as he wins this. I like him strafing, but now strafing still has to get, he has to get through his club. But you're asking me who I think the favorites are going in, even though it still has something to go.
We've already seen Beast Mode Mac with a phenomenal run for the Rams.
Shout out to Beast Mode Mac. Actually came out when I was in Kansas City for an event. Really focused, really locked in, and actually left the event early because he said he needed to get back in the lab.
We're under 4 minutes to go here in the Eagles Club Championship. It is all Henry. Tony finds Ryan Shazier once again. 20, 15, 10, 5. He may be a linebacker, but he's showing out at tight end, and a wry smile from Tony as he knows he caught Henry sleeping. Who would have thunk? Ryan Shazier, the burner over the top.
Now, there are two ways to look at that Ryan Shazier touchdown. You can say, wow, he was able to score with Ryan Shazier. Or you can say, Henry has him so boxed that he's had to resort to trying to throw streaks to Ryan Shazier.
Got some Fly Eagles Fly in the chat. A lot of Eagles fans. Shout out to all the Eagles fans here inside the locker room and in the Twitch chat. Join some Madden NFL 20. 38-19. Rico will have the winner, the presentation of the chain, and an interview with your club champion. 1st and 10. Harrison. A nice little pass, and this is where I think Henry has shown how dangerous he can be, because whether he's been running the ball, whether he's been passing the ball, he is incredibly balanced, and that doesn't let you key in one way or the other.
You're right. He's kept everybody on their toes here, including us. He's found a way to score in every imaginary way possible. But if you're Tony, you can't hang your head. Oh, my God.
Oh, stop and go.
And that's a stick mark. And that's, again, what separates good from great. Tony can't hang his head. He's ran up against the #1 player in the world right now. And he fought. He fought as hard as he could. He's had his moments. Just couldn't get over the hump. Wow. They are laying the wood there.
He's brought down by Ryan Shazier. A gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 9. At the Eagles, 38.
Uh-oh. There's a fumble.
Over till the fat lady sings. She may be in the back. She may be warming up.
She's warming up, and I heard her. La, 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 la.
Rico will have an interview with the winner, looking like it's going to be young Henry. Looking at the flat. 38-19 the score. Truly believe, though, the performance from Tony, we're going to see him back in these competitive events because he's held himself very well against some of the top competition.
And you look at those rushing numbers that Saquon's put up. He just needs to separate himself from the pack by working on his stick work a little bit. He's left a lot of points on the board because he's not been able to make a defender miss.
Truly believe, though, he may be the best foot and ankle surgeon Madden player. We can get that tournament going. I'd watch it.
I don't know. My cousin Chucky, he's pretty tough down there at the Cleveland Clinic.
Barkley outside, nowhere to go. It is all formality at this point. Henry's gonna pick up some extra money, and he'll have a chance to fight for that one. He already picked up $25,000 at the Madden Classic. He'll have a chance to pick up $100,000 at the Club Championships in December in San Francisco. 3rd down and 2. He finds Barkley outside, nowhere to go. Picks up a 1st down.
Breeze pass. Complete to Saquon Barkley. It's a gain of 6. And an Eagle 1st down.
As no letdown for Henry. It was a tough first semifinal. Able to fight through some adversity, some decision-making issues, but gets to the championship and then an absolutely dominant performance. The controller is down. The headphones are off. Handshakes in the middle. And Henry is your Madden NFL 20 Philadelphia Eagles club champion.
38, Eagles 19.
What a performance as he's presented with the chain. Don't fall over with that one, young fella. What a performance. Let's throw it over to Rico Williams with your Eagles club champion, Henry.
Hey, thanks, Nick. I'm here with Henry, our newly chained, crowned Eagles club champions. How does it feel, Henry?
It feels amazing, you know. Fly, Eagles, fly. You already know.
Now, a lot of people were talking about you and Mo being the top 2 players. With Mo not making it, you have the crown right now of being the number 1 player in the world. At such a young age, how does that feel?
It feels amazing, you know. Feel bad for Mo, you know, just played a bad game. Now he's not in the club, you know. Even though we played in the finals, most people don't know that's my boy. You know, he gave me the defense that, you know, got me that far. It was the best run defense at the tournament. And definitely feels nice to be number 1 as of right now, though. I'll say that.
Now, a lot of people talk about this game and saying the meta is to run the ball, but you've come out and you've actually thought outside of the box, pun intended. What made you go against the grain?
I'm going to just keep it a buck. I'm not good at running unless, like, I get the best blocking ever. I don't know. I have bad run vision, so I try to pass the ball as best as I can. I like to let the ball fly through the air.
Now, when it comes to your defense, everybody's had problems stopping the stretch, stopping the dive. You seem to have it in a box here. Anything you want to tell us about that?
Oh, that first game was terrible. I got ran on every play. He actually was pretty good with jukebox, and I had a pretty bad user. But other than that last game, I just felt more comfortable stopping the run, moved my players, and just did what I had to do.
Now, we know you're obviously an avid Eagle fan. I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. Do you mind telling America the other reason why you went with picking the Eagles for the club championship?
I just thought the division was easy.
And you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? He's letting you Giants out there, you Cowboys out there, everybody else in the NFC East know he's coming for you. Congratulations, Henry. Represent these Eagles. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you for coming out. We've had a phenomenal time here at the lake. I want to thank Nick Mazesco, Nerd Street Gaming, EA, Madden. We're here for you. Go back, San Francisco.